First question. Express as a positive or negative integer. Ready for that statement? The statement says a loss of 10,000 jobs. The report usually comes on Friday, says how the market is doing. We lost, we gained jobs. When we have a loss of 10,000 jobs, does that mean positive 10,000 or negative 10,000? That's a negative 10,000. As I said, we're reviewing everything from the beginning till the end. Question number 2. Graph negative 2 on the number line. This is the number line. This is the 0, the 1, the 2, the 3, and it keeps going. The negative 1, the negative 2, the negative 3. Where's the minus 2? That little dot right here. That's it. I like these questions so far. Yeah. Question number 3. Is the number 2 over 5 a rational number? Yes or no? Why yes? What's a rational number? A rational number is any number that you can write as a fraction. Is this a fraction? That's a rational number. Any number that you can write as a fraction is a rational number. A over B, as long as the bottom is not 0, because you can't divide by 0. Those are the basic ones, so we'll go through them quickly. Find the additive inverse of 7. What is the inverse of 7? The additive inverse. What is it? Negative 7, correct. So you change the sign. The additive inverse of negative 5 is 5. The additive inverse of 7 is negative 7. We just switch the sign. Now we start actually doing some little problems here and there. Number 5. What is the absolute value of negative 3.5? What's that equal to? Yep, 3.5. If the number is positive, you leave it alone. If the number is negative, change it to positive. Number 6. True or false? One is bigger than negative 4. True. If you remember, you look at the number line. 1, 2, 3, negative 1, negative 2, negative 3, negative 4. The 1 is right here. The negative 4 is here. The number on the right is always bigger than the number on the left. 1 is on the right. It's bigger than negative 4. 7. What is 10 plus negative 3? Remember the rules for adding? If they have different signs, which that's the case, you subtract the absolute value. 3 from 10. And you take the sign of the number with the larger absolute value. This is the larger absolute value. So it's positive 7. 2 plus negative 3 plus negative 1 plus the 5. The way I approached these last time, again, if you remember, we took all the positive numbers, we made one number out of them. And we took all the negative numbers, we made one number out of them. So positive numbers, I see the 2 and the 5. When you add them, what do you have? 7. And the negative numbers, when you combine them, that's what? Negative 4. Now different signs. Subtract the smaller from the larger, smaller absolute value. So 4 from 7, which is what? 3, and the sign will be positive. Four plus negative 1 times a negative 6. That's how your test is going to look like when you take it. Order of operations. You have to do multiplication before addition. You got to do this one first. When you're multiplying, if the signs have the same sign, the result is positive. Different sign, the result is negative. That's the same sign. What's minus 1 times a negative 6? 6, yep. Plus the 4, so your answer should be what? 10. I'll have a snapshot of these also on the website, all of them. We'll say Chapter 1 review on it. That's number 10. Excuse me. Thank you. What is the reciprocal of 12? When we ask for a reciprocal, probably the easiest thing you want to do is make that number a fraction first. If you make the 12 a fraction, it becomes 12 over what? 1. The reciprocal means what? Flip that fraction. When you flip it, what's the answer? 1 over 12. Divide negative 15 divided by 0.3. Now, first thing first, is the answer going to be positive or negative? Negative. A negative divided by positive is always a negative, different signs. So we know the answer is going to be negative. Negative what? Let's take the 15 and divide it by 0.3. Well, you can't divide by 0.3. That's not a whole number. Remember, the 15 has a decimal point right here. If it's not there, it's at the end. So to make that number a whole number, you move the decimal point how many places? 1 to the right, and you move this 1 to the right. That means you have to add a 0 to that. So this becomes what? 150 divided by 3. And if you divide 150 by 3, what are you going to have? 50. So the minus sign, I already have it here. So it's a negative 50. In case you forgot your division, you go 150 divided by 3 is 5. 5 times 3 is 15. Bring that 0 down. 0 by 3 is 0. So you have a negative 50. Number 12. This is translation. We did that last class. Translate to an algebraic expression. Here is the statement. The sum of x and twice y. The sum. The word sum means we're going to have what? Addition. We're adding two things. The first one you see is always goes in the front. This is this one. There's the and. And what is twice y? Not squared. 2y. 2 times y. Twice, that means 2 times. So that's x plus 2y. So this one tells me it's a sum, addition, and twice y means 2 times y. Number 13. Write in exponential form. So we have negative 5 times negative 5 times negative 5. You're going to write that what? Can I write it like this? Try again. Someone said yes. I go try again. If you wrote it like this, you got it wrong. Well, you got the answer right, but really this is wrong. Parentheses. The whole thing. Negative 5 to the third. Remember, if it's negative 5 to the third like this, what does that mean? Only the 5 to the third. The minus is sitting in the front. It's 5 times 5 times 5. That's not the same as this. End up with the same answer if you multiply them, but it's not correct. It's not negative 5 in parentheses to the third. That means including the sign here. That one does not include the sign. The sign is just sitting in the front. So that's the correct answer. Number 14. This has 20 questions. Let's see if we can finish them. Maybe, maybe not. Evaluate 3a plus b minus c if a equals minus 1, b equals 0, and c equals to 2. Plug them in. 3 times a is what? Minus 1. Plus b is what? 0. Minus what's c? 2. And we're supposed to do the order of operations. Do the multiplication first. What's 3 times the negative 1? Negative 3 plus 0 minus the 2. What's negative 3 plus 0? Negative 3 minus 2. If you remember subtraction, you can make that addition and change that to negative 2. What's negative 3 plus negative 2? They have the same sign. We add them and keep the sign. Negative 5. This is what we did today. Simplify. For y plus 3 minus 7y plus 10y plus 1. These are the like terms. Let's put them together. What's 4 minus 7 plus 10? 4 minus 7 is what? Negative 3 plus 10? Positive 7y. So this will be 7y. And what about plus 3 plus 1? Positive 4. I'll do one more. Then I gotta verify who's here. Combine 8t plus 1 minus 2 times 3t minus 1. Eight t plus 1. Let's take the minus 2 now and distribute that. What's minus 2 times 3? Negative 6t. And negative 2 times a negative 1. Positive 2. Now like terms. 2t. Like term is what? Plus 3.